What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Sports Talk with Brodes. And let's be honest, last night's Sixers game was pitiful. It was absolutely ridiculous. I am very, very frustrated with this basketball team. And to blow another lead late in the game is just ridiculous. And it's to the point now where, is this a coaching flaw? I know the coach isn't the one out there on the floor, but to give up an 18-point lead last night to the Portland Trail Blazers after being up and playing a good game, I know the referees came into a huge factor. They have 47 free throws, and we have 14. They weren't calling guys with 5 fouls on Portland's squad late in the basketball game. I understand all that. But at the end of the day, we get another loss. We blow an 18-point lead. We lose 114 to 110. It's just getting ridiculous. It's getting to the point now where, is it unwatchable? It's not, because Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons make it watchable. But at the end of the day, I know we're not going to get the W. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating. Ben Simmons had 17 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. Dario, 25 points, 9 rebounds. Embiid had 29 and 9. TJ McConnell coming off the bench. Listen, the stats don't do it justice on the performance late in that basketball game. Just pathetic. CJ McCollum, 34 points. I really just don't know what to say anymore. Am I going to bring up the fact that Ben Simmons can't shoot the basketball? It's frustrating. How are you? This is what I don't understand. You're a basketball player. This kid has been playing basketball for how long? His whole entire life. Just as long as I've been playing ice hockey. What do you do at that age? You shoot the basketball. You pick up a basketball. What do? You shoot it. You shoot it. So how can this guy in the NBA, a top NBA player prospect, and has a great future, how can you not shoot the basketball? Does that make sense to anybody else, or is it only me? You're in the NBA. You pick up the basketball at the age of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You dribble it down the street. You find local parks. What's he do? Just take it to the hoop every time? No shot. You shoot the basketball. It's just frustrating. I kind of wanted to try something different, and I run through my Eagles games every single episode after a Birds game. I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to take notes on this basketball game, and I'm going to be able to discuss it here. I stopped at some point because it got so frustrating in the fourth quarter. There was a time where Ben Simmons had the ball at the top of the key, and he took a jumper, and I was like, wow, let's see how this works for the 0.2 seconds of the ball in the air. Straight air ball, missed the rim, it looked terrible. Is he a lefty? Is he a righty? He doesn't even know. And I know he's a transcendent basketball player in this league. He's going to be dominant. Even the announcers were talking about it yesterday. He's going to be a fantastic basketball player once he figures out his jump shot situation. Right after he missed that jump shot, what did he do? He took it to the hoop with a layup with ease. With ease. He can do that perfectly. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And it seriously pisses me off. Joel Embiid shooting 3-pointers all night. The ones that went in looked straight cash. Looked fantastic. Nothing but net. But the ones he missed were brutal. Hitting straight bricks out there. But, I mean, I'll take it. That only stretches the floor and helps him later in the game when he needs to go down low and be as dominant as he can be in the post and mid-range. Because people have to start defending him. But the respect that Ben Simmons gets, and the announcers also mentioned this, the disrespect, really, that he gets when he has the ball in his hands. They're just letting him, here, you can shoot it. They're mocking his ability to shoot the basketball. And I don't blame him. I don't know what to do anymore with this basketball team. Bayless, he gets a backcourt violation. A backcourt violation when J.J. Redick is in the corner to the left of him. Wide open. And he's going to pass it backwards. You learn that when you're 4 years old. 4. There was a play where the ball was going out of bounds, and Ben Simmons didn't die for it. And I was sitting there like, hey, whatever, he's not going to die for it. I would have because I'm TJ McConnell. But they were talking about Fultz at the time. And they show Fultz on the bench, and you can see him laughing with his teammates saying, I would have flipped over the benches for that. I love that. That's hilarious. But they're saying he's ready to be coming back soon. What doesn't make sense to me, who knows with this Sixers staff. Don't even get me started. During the game, I'm thinking this is going to be a great game to talk about. Lots of action, Embiid going, Ben Simmons doing his thing. And then the fourth quarter happened, and it went from, I'm excited to talk about the Sixers and see where we're going. We win a game in New York on Christmas Day. Here we go. We're going to keep going with it on this trip. We're going to go out west. We're going to get some wins. We're going to go snowball effect, right? Yeah, snowball effect is what's going on in this fourth quarter, and it just keeps happening game after game after game, blowing leads. Just blowing leads. We're not the only team to blow a lead last night on the TNT doubleheader. This Celtics-Houston game was wild. You could see it coming the whole way after the second half. You really could. The Celtics win 99-98 after being down 26 points. But you could feel the energy in the crowd. You could feel the TD Garden really getting pumped up for this Boston Celtics team. And am I a little bit jealous? Maybe. I love the fans at the Wells Fargo, but when you're blowing leads and you're not the team that keeps coming back from leads. Kyrie had 26 points. What's his name? James Harden. He had 34, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, but he's the one to lose the game there at the end. Late in the game, he had 2 fouls. When they were up by 1, he got a foul on Marcus Smart by just pushing him. Gave the ball back to the Celtics. What do? They feed Al Horford in the post. I thought Al lowered his shoulder a little bit, but hey, just like last episode when I praised letting them play late in the game when it was that LeBron and KD situation, they let him play. He put his shoulder into him. He gave it a little hook down low. They take the lead. So now the Celtics have the lead here, 99-98. James Harden, they're ready to inbound the ball to him. He just pushes over Marcus Smart again. Now, I think that one was a little weak, whatever. You can't do it. And now they're talking about Chris Paul not being in there. Is that the reason this Houston team is so good? Chris Paul knows and understands situations, has a little bit more maturity, knows how to get it done, and he wouldn't be doing things like that. He would be the one that would have the ball in his hands, carrying up the ball late there. He wouldn't be pushing over Marcus Smart. But you got to respect that kind of hustle, that kind of defense. They were discussing, going back to the Sixers, TJ McConnell and his work ethic. TJ's turned himself into a little player. He's got some grit defensively. He even has a nice little mid-range game sometimes. He pulls up. He likes to run around the D, go underneath the basket, and pop it on the other side for like a 5 to 6, 7 foot jumper. He cracks me up, but I respect the hell out of it. I really do. Coming from a guy who just loves defense and respects it so much. So 2 blown games in the TNT doubleheader last night. And I want to say this, but I don't want to be criticized too hard about it. But watching Jayson Tatum play right now, the way he's playing, and how he's for Boston, and how their GM in Boston obviously is, I hate the man, but he does his job very well. And you can't deny that. He traded that pick, I think, because he knew Markelle Fultz wasn't going to be a hit. He knew Jayson Tatum was going to be. It just sucks to know that Ben Simmons, Dario, Joel Embiid, and Jayson Tatum could be out there on the floor. Now, I'm not bashing Markelle Fultz. I really haven't seen enough of him to do that. I get the Sixers staff is ridiculous with bringing guys back. Is he going to redshirt a whole entire year? I wouldn't be surprised. But at the same time, I keep hearing rumors that he might be coming back soon. He tweeted something or put up a video on Twitter about he had a surprise for us on Christmas Day, and I thought it was going to be him playing, but clearly not. It just sucks to know that Jayson Tatum could be on the floor with this Philadelphia 76ers team, and he's being a very big piece to that team right now. Right now. Not saying Fultz can't do that, because I think he obviously can. It's just showing me right now. But at the time of the draft, we picked what we thought, and we have experts who study these guys every single day, who are a part of the organization, and college basketball experts. And there's so many experts that wasn't like, wow, Anthony Bennett. It wasn't to that extreme. I mean, I saw something yesterday on Bleacher Report saying Anthony Bennett has been traded to the G League teams. If that's a Fultz situation, don't even get me started. So, you can follow me on Twitter at sportsandbrodes, where you will see where my latest episodes will be dropped. Call into the show. I want to hear you guys. I want to hear what you think about the Eagles, what you think about this Sixers squad, what you think about anything sports related. It does not have to be Philadelphia. Use your voice memo app on your iPhones and send it to my email address, sportsandbrodes@gmail.com. Lastly, I have the message boards forums where you can discuss anything you want, sort of like a blog, but you can reach out and comment back. Link will be in the bio, www.sportstalkwithbrodes.boards.net. Now, I also have huge news. I have received the opportunity to intern this summer at a local South New Jersey news station, but I'm going to be working with the sports coverage. I'm going to see how they write their sports, how they they do highlights on local, like high school football, high school sports. I'm going to watch how they do that, do the highlights. I'm going to see how they broadcast and all kind of stuff sports related. And I know it's local. I know it's little South Jersey, local high school football, all that stuff, but I think it's a huge opportunity to first put on my resume, learn how they do it, and get myself putting my foot in the door for the field that I want to pursue. So I think it's huge. I went there yesterday and I met the owner, the CEO, and I met all the people who work there. I saw the studio, I saw the booth. So I think it's a huge opportunity for me to intern this summer, and I'm really excited to see where that takes me. Now we're going to dive into a little bit of football here, because there's some big news going around the NFL. Coming into the last week, James Harrison is let go by the Steelers and signed with the Patriots. You're talking about someone who had a Hall of Fame career in Pittsburgh, and he's just going to leave. Now, apparently, the rumor originally was he was cut by the Steelers. Now, teammates are getting interviewed in the locker room, discussing the situation, talking about what's going on, and they're coming out saying, don't make it seem like this was on the Steelers. Everyone knows in this locker room that James Harrison wanted to leave this football team. He did not want to be here. He wanted an out. But the Steelers are covering up for him. This is crazy. I mean, this is seriously, in what world do you have the type of career that you had in Pittsburgh? You're talking people are going to wear your jersey after you're retired for years and years and years and years. People respected you. You'd be literally a Brian Dawkins type player in Pittsburgh, and you're just going to leave and want to leave out at 39 years old and go to the Patriots? You're telling me Bill Belichick didn't call in James Harrison and say, tell me everything you know about this defensive scheme. And he's going to tell him because he's going to want to win the Super Bowl, obviously, with the Patriots. That's so weird, though. I can't even process it. It doesn't make much sense. He put up an Instagram picture, the first one being with New England, and said, finally, a teammate that's older than me. And it was Tom Brady because he's 40. I just find it comical, though, but there's clearly something going on that has not been reported or found out about for somebody like James Harrison to want to leave. Was it a playing time situation? Who knows? But it's insane. I'm sitting here right now, staring at my screen, trying to process why this man would want to leave Pittsburgh and go play for the Patriots. And all you Patriots fan, I don't want to hear because he wants a champion. I don't want to hear that because he wants a championship. because we're the Patriots and we're going to win every single year. And you know what? I have nothing to say because there's a good possibility you might win. And it pisses me off that the Eagles can't win. Am I going to start crying on the air? Is this going to happen? Another situation going on in the NFL with the Giants. Eli Apple was called out by Landon Collins in an interview saying that he is a team cancer. This is a young, highly drafted prospect, very young still, and he's getting called out for being a really bad teammate and a cancer. And apparently the coach has called in Eli, called in Landon Collins, discussed the situation, and everything has been going fine. But there's obviously, once again, another problem here that's been going on. Now, I get you're talking about a Giant squad that is struggling. Two wins this season. They're frustrated. Nobody's happy right now. So I can see why emotions are getting, a little high and people are getting upset. And I'm sure it's not easy to be in a locker room with a team that isn't winning football games. So I can see the situation not being healthy, let's say. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on that and see where that goes. But if he really is a true cancer, and calling him out as a cancer will not benefit anybody, because if the Giants want to get rid of him and you're Landon Collins and you want the team to get rid of him because he seriously is that much of a problem, well, now people know, right? Now people know that he's a problem in the locker room, and they're not going to want to go get him. They're not going to want to get him on their team if they know he's causing such problems. But on the other hand, why would you give up a talent like Eli Apple if there wasn't a situation that it isn't healthy? So the NFL, it's the last week of the NFL. It's sad. It really is. I remember first week of Red Zone, right? There is nothing like it. You get a cold beverage, a nice IPA. You pour it in a pint glass. You get a nice blanket. You sit on the couch. You put your feet up in the recliner. You have you just don't move all day. You're so excited. You see the Octobox. You hear the commercial-free 8-hour, 10-hour commercial-free football. And you just think, yes, it's back. It's finally back. Well, here we are in the last go for the regular season. Eagles play the Cowboys 1 o'clock. Here's a funny thing that actually occurred. On Christmas, I go to my mom's, then I go to my grandpa's, and then I go to my dad's. I go to my dad's house. He shows us what he got for Christmas and all that. And there's a bow on these 2 pieces of paper that look like printed StubHub tickets. I took the StubHub tickets from him, and they're in the bow, right? So I'm like, oh, he was handing me the tickets. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Thank you. Oh, this isn't for you. Kim got it for me for my birthday, which is his girlfriend. I'm like, the way you handed it to me, I'm looking at them. I thought they were mine. So I'm like, oh, thanks, thinking he gave them to me. No, they're not even for me. I was like, damn. So are we going to see a lot of Nick Foles? Are we going to see a lot of the first team? I hear people calling in saying they want Nick Foles to get a lot of reps, get into the rhythm of it, and play the football game. I hear others saying it's stupid. He's not going to turn into Tom Brady in a half of football against the Dallas Cowboys that are useless in this football game when it's the last game of the year. And it doesn't mean anything for either squad, which I get that 100%. I also see the other side, though. I want Nick Foles to start getting in the rhythm with his receivers. There was obviously a big problem last game that I don't want to get into because I'll get heated again. But I want to see enough of him. I want to see the defense play well. And then once we get our backups in, it is what it is. And I can't believe I'm sitting here at 13-2, frustrated with home field advantage, with the first round bye, and I'm frustrated, and I don't think the Eagles have what it takes. I don't. I can't believe it. It is such a Philadelphia sports thing to occur. To be 13-2, have home field advantage, and be upset because it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I have to change the subject. Let's look what else is going on around the league this week. It's weird. There's 7 1 o'clock games. Yeah, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 425 games with no Sunday night football game. It's so strange. I mean, it is New Year's Eve. They probably ratings-wise understand that people are not going to be watching as much. I think they still would be, though. But you got college football, you got games, it's all that, whatever. It's the NFL. They're looking for the money. They obviously have the stats to show it, right? So, an interesting game here, which there's just no way. The Browns are 0-15 playing the Steelers, who are 12-3 in Pittsburgh. I mean, the Browns haven't won a football game yet. The Steelers have clinched, right? Is there going to be a situation where their backups come in and the Browns are able to get a W? There's just no way, right? Like, seriously, there is no way. You would think that. The line is 10.5 Pittsburgh. There's no way they're going to play all of their players throughout the whole entire game. So is this a time where Deshaun Kaiser, Josh Gordon, and Myles Garrett, is this a time with the backups in that they're going to be able to get their W? They're actually going to be winless. It's a shame. That organization is awful. Just awful. It makes no sense that you can consistently be that bad year after year after year after year. It's pathetic. The Falcons at 9-6 play the Panthers at home. They are home. There's a lot of situations that can occur here for this wild card spot. Looking at the playoff picture, Atlanta is 9-6 in that last wild card spot. Seattle is 9-6 right below them. So I mean, that's a huge game because Seattle ends up playing the Cardinals at home. So pretty much Atlanta holds their own destiny at this point. I can't believe it's the last week. It's so devastating. It really is. And the worst part is once they start playing, the NFL starts putting Saturday playoff games on TV. I have games those days. So they need to realize that they have to switch the games for me. We'll see how it works out. Hopefully I miss the crappier ones. And I get an opportunity to watch my Eagles here. Devastated will be an understatement. College football. You got the bowl games coming on. You started off with the little crappy ones out in Hawaii that no one cares about. Christmas Eve, there was no Sunday night game again, and I was sitting there watching the Hawaii Bowl, which was Houston and Fresno State. Don't get me wrong, I love all sports. I love all college football, and I get it, but some games are just not as interesting as others. And, I mean, that's just obvious. But last night, I was surprised. There was a really great game on. I mean, numbers-wise, it shouldn't have been too surprising. But why am I drawing blank? Oh, TCU and Stanford played. And, oh my gosh. That late third quarter to the fourth quarter was just beautiful. So many scoring plays. The final was 39-37 TCU as they came back and rallied to win the game. Late third, here we go. Bryce Love runs for a 69-yard touchdown run. He is something special. The speed that Bryce Love has is truly remarkable. His breakaway speed, it's crazy. Nobody's even in the picture with him when he's running with the football down the field. If he gets a gap, he's done. There was a play, this cornerback made a beautiful open field tackle. So beautiful. You could see in slow motion that Bryce Love hit him with a left cut. If he broke that tackle, he was gone for another 60-yarder. They showed a stat saying Bryce Love has 13 50-plus yard touchdown plays, and there's teams that don't even have that. Teams do not even have that. Then TCU comes back with an 11-yard touchdown pass from Kenny Hill. Kenny Hill had himself a remarkable second half. So at this point, the score is 28-23 TCU. Stanford gets a field goal, 31-23. The fourth quarter starts. TCU is at their 7-yard line, and Kenny Hill throws a 93-yard touchdown pass to make it 31-29. Stanford still in the lead. Now at this point they go for a 2-point conversion. Was it questionable? Should they have waited? I say go for it. They hit their big man who lined up as a tight end. He was wide open. He just dropped the pass, so the score stayed 2 points. This is when TCU forces a punt. Desmond White of TCU caught the ball with his back turned, so it was like over his head. He catches the ball with his back turned to the play. Booming punt, 60-plus yarder. He turns his body around and runs a 76-yard punt return. It was one of these mouth wide open. What am I watching? This is college football at its finest. Iron Bowl, not Iron Bowl from a couple years back. I don't want to give it that much praise because that was ridiculous. But it was seriously insane. Stanford gets a touchdown to take the lead 37-36, and with 3 minutes left, TCU ends up kicking a 33-yard field goal to take the lead and win 39-37. But the action in the late third, fourth quarter was just crazy. And it was one of those games that I'm just sitting there shaking my head saying, this is beautiful college football bowl game type situations. Oklahoma State beats Virginia Tech in the Camping World Bowl. Oklahoma State's quarterback throws for 351 yards and 2 touchdowns for Rudolph. And I'm getting excited because it's almost that time where we start getting these Clemson-Bama games and this Georgia-Oklahoma game. Oh, I'm so excited. I'll be honest with you, I'm definitely rooting for Bama. I also like Baker Mayfield. Sometimes I say I want all these guys to win specifically, and then my emotions take over during the game, and I'm like, wow, maybe I actually want the other team to win. But I definitely love Bama, and I really want them to beat Clemson. And I like Baker Mayfield. I think he's a great quarterback, and I would love to see how they both perform. In reality, I can't control it, so I'm just going to sit there, watch, and enjoy. But we also have other great games. LSU, Notre Dame. Penn State plays Washington in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. Where's that Ohio State game? That's on here too. Oh, Miami, Wisconsin. Where is that Ohio State game? Ohio State, USC. Tonight. 8:30. ESPN. That's going to be great. The Cotton Bowl. Those are the great bowl games I love, man. I love when these are top 10 ranked squads and they're playing for the Cotton Bowl, the Orange Bowl. It's that time of year again. It really, really is. And I'm going to end this on a Flyers point. I know we just hopped from college football and the bowl games to the Flyers, but they fall again last night to the Panthers. They take a 3-0. They're down 3-0, and they come back. They fight. I'll give them that to make it 3-2. But you can't be giving up 3-0 leads and expect to come back in the third period to win. I mean, it's getting ridiculous, and this team is an emotional roller coaster for me. We're sitting at 15, 14, and 8. We lose 10. We win 6. We lose 1, we win 1. We lose 1. It's so inconsistent. We go through such extreme highs and lows, such an extreme roller coaster. I mean, it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. I was looking at NHL stats the other day. I did not realize that Claude Giroux is that high up there in points. He's got like 44 points this year, and Jacob Voracek has about 43. So, and the highest right now is 52. Where are all these points coming from? I mean, they don't stand out to me. Voracek has an insane amount of assists, and I'm not saying he doesn't have these assists, but I know for a fact in the NHL, they not that they're phantom assists or whatever, but they give out secondary assists very often. He isn't playmaking to that ability where I'm like, wow, Voracek is just killing it playmaking and has all these assists. It doesn't stand out that way. So it's a very, very quiet amount of assists for me. But we just got to keep grinding. I mean, right now we're just like bouncing back with a win, with a loss, with a win. We need to have a huge bounce back tonight against the Lightning, back-to-back. Lightning are 27-7-2. And just speaking about a record like that, the Vegas Knights won 6 consecutive games. They're 25-9-2. Okay? This is not realistic. This is the first time ever for a first-year franchise that something like this is happening. What is happening? This team has so many draft picks, so many prospects. It's a scary, scary, scary thought to see where this is going to go for this Vegas Knights team. So this is where I'm going to end the episode. Thank you so much for listening. As always, follow me on Twitter at sportsandbrodes. Call into the show using your voice memo app on your iPhones. Record yourself and send it to sportsandbrodes@gmail.com. And the message boards, www.sportstalkwithbrodes.boards.net. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a great day.